sometimes it's hard for you to clearly see just how you're gonna keep it together. Your obligations and responsibilities, how you gonna meet them ends, how you gonna make it one more time. Now let's hear the truth of it. You are much, much more than this. Haven't you heard? Haven't you heard? You're the light lighting up the world. Haven't you heard? Haven't you heard? In you there's no darkness. Haven't you heard? Haven't you heard? You're the bread, you're the wine, the word. Haven't you heard? Oh, haven't you heard? You're the light of the universe. Yeah, you are. La 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 la. I know sometimes it's hard to hold your head up high and show the world you got it together. You think of things that make you wonder, run and hide. Who would love you if they knew who you're? Who could you trust to understand? Now let's hear the truth of it. You are loved much more than this. Haven't you heard? Oh, haven't you heard? You're the light lighting up the world. Haven't you heard? Haven't you heard? In you there's no darkness. Haven't you heard? Haven't you heard? You're the bread, you're the wine, the word. Haven't you heard? Haven't you heard? You're the light of the universe. You're not the things you have done. You're not the words that you said, or the heartache that you're going through. Oh, you are the bright of the sun. You are the glow of the moon. And in your presence, the things that seem dark fade away, away, away. Haven't you heard? And you're the light lighting up the world. Haven't you heard? Haven't you heard? In you there's no darkness. Haven't you heard? Haven't you heard? You're the bread, you're the wine, the word. Haven't you heard? Haven't you heard? You're the light of the universe. You're the light lighting up the world. Haven't you heard? Haven't you heard?
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to today's Open Heart Spiritual Center virtual service. Thank you all for joining us, as always, for your consciousness and being here. And may this service just bring more peace, more joy, more freedom of expression, more life to you today. And may you just allow this service to open up your heart space even wider than it was when you started. If you'll join me here in just taking a breath in. And with this breath, I just give thanks for this day, for this time that we've all come here to join together, to be here in the now, in this moment. I'm so grateful for this day. I'm so grateful for all that have a part in this service, for the music, for the message, and yes, for each and every single one of you, for your consciousness, for joining us here today. And I am so grateful for this celebration today. It is a new celebration, so let us celebrate anew. And now I call this time so very good. Celebration so very good. And let the celebration begin. And so it is.
This is my season for grace, for favor. And this is my season to reap what I have sown. This is my season for grace, for favor. This is my season to reap what I have sown. You see, things haven't been perfect, but Lord knows I'm grateful. My life has a purpose, and I know I'm able. I've got a seed in the ground, and it's a blessing, no more stressing. I've got a seed in the ground, and it's growing, and now it's showing. This is my season for grace, for favor. This is my season, it's my season to reap what I have sown. This is my season for grace, for favor. This is my season, it's my season to reap what I have sown. Everything is working together for my good. Say it with me. Everything is working together for my good. Everything is working. It's working together for my good. Everything is working together for my good. Let me hear you say it's good. It's good. It's good. It's working for my good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's working for my good. It's good. You know it's good. It's good. It's good. You know it's working for my good. It's so good. It's so good. It's good. It's good. It's working for my good. My season for grace and favor. This is my season to reap what I have sown. This is my season. You know it's leaning in my direction. It's leaning in my direction. You know it's leaning in my direction. Whose direction is it leaning?
It's leaning
In my direction. 'Cause this is my season
for
grace, for favor. And this is my season
to reap what I have sown.
I got a seed in the ground. I'ma let it grow. I got a seed in the ground.
What comes from the heart reaches the heart. Good morning and welcome to our Heartstream for this Sunday, October the 5th, the first Sunday in the month of October. Our theme this month is the power of zeal. And we're going to talk about that this month and understand that this month. I'm so glad that you've joined us for this morning's Heartstream. Thank you for all of your support, your financial support, your spiritual support. You're letting people know about this Heartstream. All of it is extremely important, and I thank you for that. I had an opportunity to speak on yesterday with the Reverend Villa Willis, Reverend Manasseh, and she expresses her gratitude to her Open Heart family for your outpouring of love and kindness toward her as her wife Gail transitioned, and it was a great opportunity to spend time talking with her. I'd like to just call your attention to a few things this month, as I mentioned. First is that the yoga or stretch yoga Pilates class that is taking place at Unity is on Saturdays. The time has been moved up to 9 a.m. for the month of October. So those of you that are interested in coming, some of you who have been coming, but maybe didn't hear the announcement that the time has been moved to 9 a.m. as opposed to 10 a.m. Secondly, speaking of Unity Christian Church, this month is anniversary month. On October the 26th, Sunday, October the 26th, we will be celebrating the 73rd anniversary of the church. And on that Sunday, we are having Pack the Pews Sunday. That's right, Pack the Pews Sunday. And we are having a very friendly contest. But whatever person or family has the most invites the most people there, they will win a special prize and also get bragging rights for the year about having won that particular contest. And I'd like to invite you, those of you that are in the Memphis area, to attend on that Sunday, the 26th, and register as my guest. Because I'm in this too. I want to have an opportunity maybe to win that prize as well. And there will be a dinner that will be served after that. We'll have a very special worship celebration to commemorate 73 years of that church, which has a very rich and powerful history in not only in the city of Memphis, but in the Unity movement in general. So again, October 26th at 11 a.m. at Unity Christian Church, 3345 McCorkle Road in Whitehaven. I hope that you will come out and to share with us on that day. And as always, I greet you, I bless you, I see God in you.
Today is a day like no like today should be holidays. So I'm singing this message to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Just have a happy day.
There's several ways to give to Open Heart: through our Cash App at OHSC901, online at OHSC901.com, or text the word GIVE to 615-422-4290.
A powerful way to start or continue your day is with our daily prayer call. Each morning at 8 a.m. Central Time, a prayer team member provides an inspirational reading and an affirmative prayer. Join us at 901-586-8755.
I am fit to thrive in 2025. Together, let's get our bodies, minds, and spirits aligned for the fall and winter seasons. Our instructor is P.A. Bomani, better known as Coach P.A., the founder of Stretch Chocolates. During the month of October, we will begin at 9 a.m. And remember, it's $10 per person per class. Come out and improve your strength, balance, and flexibility. Hope you will join us. Hey, if you're in the Memphis area, each week you're invited to come out to Unity Christian Church, 3345 McCorkle Road, to join us for our Sunday celebration. This isn't just about John speaking, but it's about an opportunity for two powerful, wonderful congregations to come together. That's right, because we have people from Open Heart who join in singing, who work as platform assistants, and other things that happen on those Sundays. And if you're here, it's an opportunity for you to come out and to share with us. If you're not able to be here in person, you can always stream with us at Unity Christian Church, both on the Facebook page and on the YouTube channel. Hope to see you soon.
Pregnant possibilities, now birthing a new travailing to obtain it, for it must come to pass. I decree it, declare it, and call it in the Spirit to become what God designed me to be. Your future, your promises shall be fulfilled. Yes, you shall obtain it, for it must come to pass. I decree it, declare it, and call it in the what God designed me to be. Who you are what God designed you to be. You are what God designed you to be. Say it with me, open heart. You are what God designed you to be. You are what God designed you to be. You are what God designed you to be. I am what God designed me to be.
What makes your heart sing? This month, we're talking about the power of zeal. Igniting your zeal is about listening to what makes your heart sing, even if it's a very quiet song to start. That comes from Reverend Deanne Ware Morenzi. So what makes your heart sing? What ignites your zeal? Charles Fillmore calls zeal the inward fire of the soul that urges humankind onward. He goes on to say, without zeal, stagnation, inertia, and death would prevail throughout the universe. A person without zeal is like an engine without steam or an electric motor without a current. Chris Gardner was homeless. He lived in San Francisco. He and his wife had difficulties and they decided ultimately to split up. And that left Chris with his 2-year-old son. He had custody of his 2-year-old son, but Chris was homeless. And so each night he would take his son into a subway bathroom and there they would spend the night. The next morning, Chris would get up. He put on the only suit he had. He'd drop his son off at daycare and he would go to these free classes for people who wanted to learn to become stockbrokers. Over time, Chris became successful at it. As a matter of fact, he got so much to the point that he became the highest selling and the most successful stockbroker in his firm. And the story might sound familiar to you because ultimately his story became the basis for the movie Pursuit of Happiness, where Will Smith played the character Chris Gardner. And when Chris Gardner's story first came out, there was a man that was interviewing Chris, and he said to Chris, he said, you know, I live in San Francisco as well, and I actually passed by that subway bathroom where you and your son spent many nights. And just how is it that you were able to do that? Because he said, as I look around, I see other people who, pass by there. They get on the subway, they ride the subway. They seem preoccupied. They're either reading, they're doing things with their phones, they're doing other things like that. And how is it that a man could go from being homeless, sleeping in the bathroom, these people who look bored or preoccupied, but how a man who was homeless, sleeping in the bathroom with his 2-year-old son could find more life than these people who seemingly had jobs, who seemingly had things going on for them or whatever else. How is it that you could do it? And what was the difference for you? And Chris Gardner's response to him was, well, you know that once you find something that gets you to the point that you can't wait for the sun to come up again, so you can have another opportunity to do it. Chris Gardner had found something that made his heart sing. He had activated his zeal, the inner flame that burns brightly for all to see. And I want to say that in this day and time, given what is happening all around us, that zeal can be a form of resistance. Not in the way of spiritual bypassing, but allowing us to be able to thrive in the midst of that which is trying to bring us down. It is what our elders were talking about when they described this joy that I have. The world didn't give it to me, and the world can't take it away. So again, I ask the question, what makes your heart sing? What makes you passionate about life? And the thing that I think that is most important is that those things that make our hearts sing, they don't have to be grand things like, becoming a multimillionaire, although I'm sure there are a lot of us who say, well, I'd be okay with that. But it can be things that everyday things that we oftentimes take for granted, but those things that make our hearts sing, those things that provide us with zeal, that we cannot wait until the sun comes up again so we can get out there and do what it is that drives us, do what pulls us. Reverend Bronte Colbert says it like this: if I feel less than enthusiastic or energetic in any area of my life, zeal is an ever-present energy that I may call upon. It ignites my dreams and fuels my fire. It fills me from the inside out. As I enthusiastically express the spirit within me, I bubble over with joy. I do what I love, and I love what I do. I am vibrantly healthy. I am alive, awake, alert, and enthusiastic about life. And then finishes with this affirmation: my zeal shines from me, lighting my way forward and light brightening our world. I glow. So what makes your heart sing? There's a friend of mine who teaches business people and nonprofit leaders all over the city about running their organizations, their businesses. And she usually ends her presentation by reminding people that the people who run the world are those who show up. Now, I'd like to amend that. First of all, just simply say that there are some people who are trying to run the world that I'm not so sure about, but ultimately that when she talks about the people who run the world or those who show up, I know that there are people who show up. We meet them all the time, but all they do is just show up. We see them and we say hello to them, and their response is lackluster, and we can guess that they're just showing up. They wait on us in the restaurant. We can tell that they just show up. We sit next to them at work. We sit next to them at school. We sit next to them in public transportation or wherever else it might be. We sit next to them. We see them, and we can tell that they just showed up. But I think that people who run the world are not the ones who just show up. But I think the ones who run the world are the ones who show up with passion, who show up with their hearts singing, who show up with their hearts on fire, who show up with something inside of them that gets them up and gets them going every morning. People ignited by zeal. Yes, we still are people ignited by zeal. They're still around. And it doesn't have to be, as I said, anything grand. I think about a man that I learned about who was a server in a restaurant, and people loved coming to the restaurant and having him wait on them because he just did it in such a manner that they were happy, and they would request to sit at one of his tables, and they would be disappointed when they couldn't. If he wasn't there, they would also be disappointed. But as his story got out, it seems that this man actually has some advanced degrees in engineering. As a matter of fact, he had a master's and a PhD in engineering, but yet he was working in this restaurant as a server. A friend of mine decided, well, I work with engineers just about every day, and I'm sure that I can help him find a job. So he goes in to talk with him, and he learns more about his story. He found out that a few years earlier that this man's wife died from cancer. And he said that the moment that his wife died, as he looked in his daughter's eyes, he could see the fear and the hurt and the anxiety in her eyes. And he decided right then and there that the most important thing that he could do at that time was to be available for his daughter. So he took the job that he had because the hours allowed him to take her to school in the morning and pick her up in the afternoon. And he said, while it took a little bit of time, that ultimately he could look in her eyes and he could see something different, something had changed. While he knew that she missed her mother and he missed his wife, he could tell that no longer was that fear in her anymore. No longer was that anxiety in her anymore. And he realized that that's what he needed to do at the time. And he did what he needed to do. And he found something ultimately, though, that made his heart sing. So, what are you passionate about? What makes your heart sing? What gets you going? And I know there's some people who say, well, my time has passed. I did that, but now, I'm retired. Now I'm doing this or that or other things. Or people will say, well, I haven't quite figured it out yet. I'm working on those things. And what I'd like to say to you, regardless of that, because it's never too late, it's never too soon. The thing ultimately to do when we want to know what it is that makes our heart sing, we pay attention to our energy. Pay attention to our energy. Pay attention. What drains you when you have to do it? What pulls from you when you have to do it? What makes you think, oh, I got to do this again? Some of you might remember the Dunkin' Donuts commercial that featured Fred the baker. He would get up in the morning and say, it's time to make the donuts. Then afternoon he'd come in, I just made the donuts. Getting up again, it's time to make the donuts. I just made the donuts. And it got to be after a while, he would meet himself coming, as people would say. And we could see maybe he started with some joy, but now things were pulling from him. Now no longer were they necessarily joyful for him that they were made. That was, his energy shifted, his energy changed. Eckhart Tolle reminds us, whatever you cannot enjoy doing, you can at least accept that this is what you have to do. Acceptance means, for now, this is what this situation, this moment requires me to do. And so I do it willingly. Inner acceptance of what happens is important, and acceptance of what you have to do is another aspect of it. For example, you probably won't be able to enjoy changing the flat tire on your car at night in the middle of nowhere in pouring rain, let alone be enthusiastic about it, but you can bring acceptance to it. Performing an action in the state of acceptance means you are at peace while you do it. That peace is a subtle energy vibration which then flows into what you do. On the surface, acceptance looks like a passive state, but in reality, it is active and creative because it brings something entirely new into the world. That peace, that subtle energy vibration is consciousness. And one of the ways in which it enters this world is through surrendered action. One aspect of which is acceptance. And I'll talk more about that next week. But what excites you? Because chances are is that what excites you is part of what makes your heart sing. And it may change over time. It may be that in this season of your life, that this is what makes your heart sing. And then there may be another season that comes along and it's time for another opportunity. But pay attention to what you're paying attention to. How does it serve you? How does it make you feel? How does it affect your energy? Find out what makes your heart sing. I was in a 2-day retreat. That retreat ran from morning until evening. And on day one, I came away from that session just energized, enthusiastic. It was a nonprofit organization that they had invited me to be on the board. And I was really excited about it and what the board was going to do. But the second day, I came away from there exhausted. I was drained. I was not enthusiastic about it at all. But I expected that. And the reason why I expected that was some years prior to that, I had also been a part of another organization, another nonprofit. I was a volunteer for their allocation subcommittee. And as such, we would go out to the various agencies that were funded by this organization, and we would review their allocation requests, the money that they needed to operate for another year. We would look over their missions, we would look over their operations, and yes, we would look over their budgets. And we go through all of those things. And what I would find myself doing when I first got started was that as they would sit down and would start talking to them about their budgets and looking over the spreadsheets and the financials and all of that, my eyes would just glaze over. Because quite honestly, that just is not where I am. That is just not something that provides me with much interest or anything else like that. And so I had gotten to the point where I would try to keep up. I would try to even, make a contribution, but it just, just pulled my energy. It just pulled me down and drained me. So I was ready to resign when they actually approached me and said, well, next year we'd like for you to be the chair of that particular subcommittee. And I thought to myself, I was getting ready to quit. And now they're asking me to be the chair. And so as I thought about it, I said, well, numbers is not my thing, but what I do know is people. I understand to a certain level people. I have a passion for people. I have an awareness for people and for helping people and providing services and things for them. So I decided, okay, I'll take the subcommittee chair role. But what I'm going to focus on when we go out to these agencies is to focus on how they deliver services for people. And I'll let the numbers crunchers have their way, which they did. They would even come in and brag about how late they stayed up trying to figure out the numbers of this or that. But as I focused on that, then my energy came back. So moving back to this retreat. So I knew the second day that was going to happen, but I got prepared for it. I drank some extra coffee, some extra protein, and I just, got myself ready for that because I knew that's what was going to happen. As Eckhart Tolle reminds us again, whatever you cannot enjoy doing, you can at least accept that this is what you have to do. Acceptance means for now, this is what this situation, this moment requires me to do, and I do so willingly. But I'm here to talk about more than acceptance. I understand now because I paid attention to my energy, that my energy is a clue to what makes my heart sing. My energy is a clue to what gets me up and going. My energy is a clue to what makes things happen. And it can be the same for you when you again pay attention to what you're paying attention to. When you pay attention to your energy, when you pay attention to how things and people and situations and circumstances make you feel, you are on the path to discovering what makes your heart sing. And when that happens, you find what makes your heart sing, you activate and ignite your zeal. Zeal, the inner flame that burns brightly for all to see. And then when you discover what makes your heart sing, you fall in love with life. You begin to appreciate and to see things differently. You begin to understand, even in the same space, around the same people, in the same job, in the same school, in the same relationship, in the same family, in the same whatever it is, you begin to love life in the midst of all of it because you have discovered what makes your heart sing. When my daughter was around 5 years old, there was a story she liked to have me read to her. It was a story about a bear who loved to hear about outer space, the astronauts, the rockets, the missions. So he went out into his backyard. He went to his mother and complained to his mother about being bored. And his mother said, find something that will excite you. So he went out into his backyard and he climbed up on a tree stump and he closed his eyes and he saw himself as an astronaut in his rocket ship. And his rocket ship took off and it landed on another planet. And as an astronaut, he knew now it's time to explore. He jumped to the ground. He started looking around. And while things looked somewhat familiar, they also looked different. They also looked new. So he decided that he would explore this new planet. He spent time walking around, exploring this planet, fascinated, the whole afternoon experiencing things on this new planet. And it wasn't until later he came around the corner And there his mother was hanging clothes on the clothesline. And he looked at her and he realized that he had never really left his backyard, but yet in another way, he had left his backyard because he was able to see things through new eyes. And then he fell in love with his surroundings. His boredom disappeared. He fell in love with his life. And then when we find what makes our heart sing, we fall in love with life. Ricky Byers in a song says it, I think, better than I can when she says, some have asked me, the song called A Deeper Love, some have asked me about my glow, said they want to know why I move the way I do. Is there someone special in my life, or have I found a love so true? They don't know. They just don't know that I found a deeper love, the deepest love that one can find. Found a love so deep, God revealed itself to me. Spirit so real, and it's a deeper love that I feel. Some have asked me what's changed in my life. Did I buy something new, or did I win some kind of prize? I found a real love. Spirit is my closest friend. It's always beginning, and it has no end. They just don't know. They just don't know. Spirit so real, and it's a deeper love I feel. Did I win some kind of prize? No, I'm seeing with brand new eyes. Did I meet that special friend? No, I found a real love within. I'm going right with God's love, and I'm stepping out on my faith. This is a brand new day, and there's nothing in my way. All that I can say is that I found a deeper love, the deepest love that one can find. I found a love so real, God revealed itself to me. Spirit is so real, and it's a deeper love that I feel. When you find what makes your heart sing, when you find and ignite your zeal, that deeper love that allows you to fall in love with life, come what may, keeps you going. It becomes your act of resistance. It becomes your act of defiance. It becomes your act where you are determined, come what may, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me, and the world certainly can't take it away. And so it is.
I thank you for being so real and touching me, letting me see what a beautiful world this world is, and I thank you for all that's revealed. Well, you're changing me and opening my time, blinded eyes to see my glorious possibilities. I like this song. Oh, and I pray for strength to keep seeing just like this. Oh, that I can say yes and move out the way and give my God its full sway. Oh, I thank you for being so real Ooh.